and Jim. Let's go to the British Open. Rory McIlroy continues to lead, only by one stroke, though, in a rainy Hoylake, England. He's minus 12 for the tournament. Ricky Fowler, the American, minus 11, and minus 5 in the third round today is Fowler. The ticket desk, I'm Dan Leach. More at 9:30, or go to 971theticket.com.
The following is a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Freed. Alongside of me, Harry Glantz.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, good morning to you, Harry. We bring in some special guests this morning. Of course, Sharice Higgins from Keller Williams out in Union Lake. Good morning, Sharice.
Good morning, Harvey. How you guys doing?
Great. I'd love to have you in the studio, Sharice. We've known each other for a long time. And Jeff Higgins, your husband, who's the home inspector, which is great to have both you guys in here, the duo team here.
Absolutely.
The Sharice and Jeff team, man. Can you imagine going home and still having to talk about work with your wife?
Talk real estate and mortgages.
If I did
home
that, my wife would
inspections.
kill me.
That's
Jeff, you're the man, though.
stuff.
You're a bigger man than I am, my man.
Bounce it off. We have to bounce everything off each other.
Okay,
Always
good for
works.
you guys. Hey, if it works, stick with it.
Already July 19, 2014, about 72 degrees later in the day, and the sun's going to pop out around 2 o'clock. Not completely a lost day if you're a real estate agent. It's okay to drive people around if the homes are a little bit cooler out there in the car, right?
Absolutely. They enjoy that.
Good, a little bit cooler out there. Definitely in a nice, gorgeous day tomorrow. Along here, we got baseball. I mean, the Tigers took one on the chin last night, but Tiger baseball all day here if you're in Metro Detroit. It's an awesome place to be, and everyone's watching the British Open all week long.
Yeah, it's compelling, and especially around here in the city of Detroit, metropolitan Detroit area. Tigers are a really hot team. They're one of the best teams in the American League, although you wouldn't know it last night. But, there's a lot of excitement, and things are moving right along, Herb.
The world has issues. There's no doubt about that, though, Harry. Geopolitical turmoil. There's stuff going all around the world right now. It's the coin phrase. Markets are essentially reduced to the headline watching. I mean, we wake up every morning, we see craziness around the world. They're blowing airplanes out of the sky.
Oh, boy,
of
not
course.
going to have that kind of show this morning.
No,
are we?
we're not going to talk about any of that stuff. But mortgage rates held steadily despite all these bond markets, and that's what's really interesting.
And you bring that up, and things like this, when there's a little bit of uncertainty going on in the world, Sharice and Jeff, what it does for interest rates, it just, it kind of holds things steady because there's a lot of uncertainty. And, jobs reports, things, bad news, and I hate to put it this way, but it's true. Bad news usually helps the market in terms of interest rates. So it's not, we don't root for that, but it's just steady now. And really the bottom line is, and as you know, Sharice, there's never been a better time in recent years to buy a house.
Absolutely.
I mean, rates are low. I mean, there's a lack of quality inventory on the market right now. It's driven it to a seller's market. We've seen some tapering off. And one of our favorite topics every week, appraisals haven't caught up to home values. So, as you know, as a realtor who's out taking people out, just because you sell a house for $250,000 doesn't necessarily mean it's going to appraise for $250,000.
Absolutely. The only thing going right now is cash sales. If you got a cash sale, then you don't have to worry about appraisals.
So
right.
you're
That's right.
exactly.
Takes
So
that out of
are
it.
you still seeing a lot of cash sales?
Absolutely. We actually had an offer come the other day for a cash sale on $285,000. So there's cash buyers out there and people who need mortgages. So
Maybe they're emptying out their 401k. I mean, rates are great, no doubt about that. Money's still at historic lows. We see still 90%. It seems like 90% of the transactions end up being a mortgage at the end of the day. I think sometimes to be aggressive, we've seen some of those offers out there. And Sharice, you would know, a lot of the offers sometimes say cash, and then they end up being a mortage after the offer is accepted.
Absolutely. Sometimes there's not enough to cover it all. So, yeah.
So let me ask you a question. That brings up a great point, Harvey. So somebody writes a cash offer. And they go ahead and then they call Jeff for the home inspection because they have a team together, right? They put a team together. They have you as a realtor.
Correct.
They have Jeff or another inspector, which we always say you never, Jeff, help me out with this. You never waive an inspection when you're going to buy a house. I mean, you can't. I mean, as a realtor, Sharice, how can you honestly and in good conscience write an offer that says we're waiving the right to a home inspection? That's very dangerous.
It's what they say is get a second opinion. It doesn't matter what your eye might see, but you always get that second opinion because they might see something you didn't.
That's right. So you go in the house, you have your team together, you write the offer is accepted, and let's say it says cash. They go out, Jeff or an inspector goes out and says, this house is in good condition, I go with it. So 2 weeks later, they want to change their mind, and they say, you know what? It's $250,000 house. I want to go ahead and get a mortgage for $180,000. I mean, how does that really affect the transaction?
It all depends on the mortgage company. If you call Harvey up, Harvey's right on top of it.
Wow,
I can't say out of all the years that I've been in the business, you give Harvey a call. He's straightforward. He tells you, yes, I can do this. No, I can't. So there's never any guessing work. Are they going to, deny me a week down the road? No. If Harvey says, yep, it's a go. And that's what we do. But Harvey's usually right on top of it, gets it done very quickly for us. There is, other mortgage companies that might delay it 30 days, 45 days, just depending on how quick in that transaction they want to switch from cash.
Yeah, so what you're saying, if there's no hitch in the giddy up, whether it's cash, whether it's a mortgage, whether it's anything, it really doesn't affect the transaction. It only affects the transaction if all of a sudden the borrower or your buyer can't perform on that contract.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's good.
All right, we're going to take open calls all day today, 248-539-9797. If you've got a call about mortgages, real estate, you just bought a house, you put an offer in. We've got Jeff here, Jeff Higgins, to answer questions from First Allied
Home Inspections.
And, of course, always people have questions about what's going on with the quality of their home. And you guys see things that we don't see.
Exactly, and I contend in the transaction, okay, other than having to pay for it, that's the first line of defense. You enter into a contract, you have the inspection, and here's a professional that goes in because this is the biggest purchase of anybody's life, okay? It's the biggest transaction they're ever going to enter into, and you go in the house and go take us through the transaction.
It's not.
3.5 hours, 4 hours, how long does it take?
It's 3.5 hours, 4 hours is your normal inspection on a basic house, 1,700 square foot, 1,500 square foot. Whether it be full basement, crawl space, slabs a little bit less.
And you get in there. I mean, you're getting dirty. You're crawling in there. You're going up in the attic. You're going down in the crawl space. You're getting nasty. You're finding animals in there.
You're always looking for that second set of eyes staring back at you.
Right. You don't want to see that. I mean, you're seeing if there's water damage. You're checking out, see if there's any kind of mold going on. I mean, you really are the guy that's the most important up until that point in time in this whole transaction.
You're going through your sub. I see the underside of the floor. I look at the subfloor from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
When you go up in the attic, you're looking for water intrusion from anything going on with the roof. I mean, it's from top to bottom, wall to wall.
There's a lot going on in Michigan this past winter. I mean, it took beating on a lot of the roofs around here, even the windstorms and stuff. You see a lot of trees and debris that are falling on people's roofs. And roofs, they say, of course, a lifetime of a roof could be 25 years. That's a little stretch here in Michigan with the different weather we have, hot, cold, all the different seasons.
As long as you have the ventilation, it can last. As long as you have the proper ventilation in your home, soffit, ridge, roof, whatever it may be, as long as you have that ventilation going through, your roof will last.
Well, and Charisse, when you write an offer, there's something that's called a seller's disclosure, right?
Absolutely.
And people always, and I say always as an absolute, they always want to leave things out. They don't want to disclose things. So they'll say to you, hey, listen, we had a water leak, and do I really have to disclose it? And you know what? You can't fake it. The last 2, 3, 4 winters have been really tough. The springs have we've been poured on. If you disclose it, you're really out of trouble, right?
Right. Well, you have to disclose everything because if it comes back and you don't disclose and come back and bite you later on. But one thing good, too, what Jeff does is when he does the home inspection, if it's going to FHA, he'll actually tell the buyers or the seller, this is going to get tagged on FHA inspection, which is really important. So a lot of people say, I'm doing FHA. I don't need an inspection because I already have to have an FHA inspector. Well, in our case, Jeff inspects it. He says, okay, this is going to be flagged, this is going to be flagged. Gives the homeowner or the buyer the chance to fix it prior to the FHA inspector coming out, which does save a lot of
saves time and money. That's a great point. We actually just had that. That was interesting you brought that up because that came in on one of those last transactions where an extra set of eyes gets in there, and all of a sudden we got a handrail now going up. And then we got the GFI plugs in the wet areas in the bathroom. And a lot of these little things that really make it easier for the transaction to go smooth.
Absolutely.
This is a great advice when you're professional people involved in a transaction.
So here it is.
Things go right.
She's already passed the first test, okay? I gave her a little test. She didn't know. She's an informed, intelligent person that has information. So when I throw something out there and she says, well, you have to have it anyways because on FHA, because she knows her stuff, everybody. That was the first test that I threw at her, and she passed with flying colors. So this is a person that knows her stuff.
All right, we'll talk about this professional help you're going to be getting. If you call Capital Mortgage, we'll set you up with the right people, get an approval letter. We are brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, a 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. There are people in the office all weekend long to help you. Again, it's important that you sit down with professionals. We're going to be talking all about that, the entire process, the complexities of the entire process. There's a lot of things going on. It's not that things have changed. I think they're just more in the forefront now. Even 20-some years ago when we started, and when I started in the industry 23 years ago, it's really the same. But again, some things are brought to the forefront. Of course, the mortgage industry's had a lot of changes. But again, the homes you're buying, things that are required on the property. Years ago, one of the things, Jeff, and of course, Sharice, you know this, boy, when I first got in the business, FHA, some of the sellers were so scared away from it. We know now that the FHA guidelines are very similar to conventional guidelines. Absolutely. They don't make you rebuild the house.
Hey, my second test for is coming up after the break.
Oh, we got lots to share. All right, so it's 9:11 here. Keep it on 97.1 The Tickets, the Hardcore Mortgage Show. All your calls, 248-539-9797.
24 Seconds Bar and Grill in Berkeley is the place to be for everything sports. Jump on the shuttle to the ball games this Friday and Saturday at Comerica Park. Or catch the game at 24 Seconds, where every seat's a good seat. Bottles of blue and blue light just $2.50 during all Detroit baseball games. 24 Seconds in Berkeley. 24secondsbar.com.
Mark Chevrolet in Wayne is your truck and lease pull-ahead headquarters. With the largest selection in Metro Detroit at the rock bottom price. There's only one dealer to consider for your new Silverado or a new Traverse. Mark Chevrolet in Wayne. Get more money on your trade-in than any other dealer. Guaranteed. Right now, get into a 2014 Silverado double cab 4x4 LT for only $188 per month. Or a Chevy Traverse for only $185 per month. And Mark will waive 3 payments on your current lease. See you over to get Mark Chevrolet, the truck's experts for the best deals, period. Online at markchevrolet.com. Chevrolet, find you roads.
The 57 Chevy, the 64 Mustang, the 69 Charger. Classic American cars. But what about the classic American card? The Marathon Visa credit card. For a limited time, new card holders can earn double discounts and save up to 50 cents per gallon. Apply and put your card in drive today. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Subject to credit approval, the Marathon Visa Credit Card Rebate Program is provided by Marathon Petroleum Company, LP, which is solely responsible for the program's operation. Marathon may change the terms of the program at any time.
Jenna from Clarkston has a question for DTE Energy, and we have Kate here to help answer it. So, Kate, how can Jenna save energy and money?
Well, don't worry, Jenna. We have a lot of online tools to help our customers be more efficient and save money.
Oh, I love saving money. Can I borrow $1?
Sure. But how about I just tell you to go to our Energy Efficiency House? That'll help you find energy savings tips for inside and outside.
Excellent. Now talk to me about lighting.
When you go to the store and you're overwhelmed by all of the choices in light bulbs?
I'm constantly overwhelmed.
The lighting guide is going to help you with that. It gives you information on what's changed in lighting and what to look for when buying bulbs.
There's tons of varieties, right?
Oh yeah, you can even have them in your dining room chandelier.
Now talk to me about this My Energy Analyzer.
It's an interactive tool that's going to help you evaluate where the savings are in your house based on how you use energy.
So the best thing to do is for people to go to dteenergy.com/saveenergy, right?
Yep. There you'll find over 100 energy savings tips, links to videos, and information about all of our rebates.
I hope that answered your question, Jenna. And thanks to Kate from DTE. DTE Energy. Know your own power.
Hi, Harry Glanz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, and they're not going down to zero. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. If you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Capital Mortgage Funding is a proud division of United Shore Financial Services and MLS number 3038 Equal Housing Lender. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE.
In 1952, heart doctors at Harper Hospital in Detroit made history, performing the world's first successful heart bypass operation. In 2014, DMC cardiologists will make history again, opening the first new hospital built in Detroit in a generation. DMC Heart Hospital, home of more pioneering cardiology procedures than any hospital in Michigan. DMC, making medical history again.
It is 150 years in the making. The first new hospital in Detroit in a generation. The new heart of Detroit. The new spirit of the city. Establishing the precedents, protocols, and procedures that will define the new cardiovascular paradigm. Not in Cleveland, not in New York, but here in Detroit, at the Detroit Medical Center, the new DMC Heart Hospital. This changes everything.
At Cedar Point, it's common for families to set up meeting points.
Okay, everyone, let's meet at this bench in an hour. Text if you're going to be late.
But why meet at a bench when you can have your family meet at the new Pipe Scream?
Okay, everyone, let's meet in an hour above the Midway, twisting and spinning at 43 miles an hour. Text if you're going to be late.
Can we just do that now?
Cedar Point's got 2 new family rides, Pipe Scream and Lake Erie Eagles. Thrills everyone can enjoy together this summer.
You'll save on Cedar Point tickets when you buy them at participating Meijer stores.
With Delta Vacations Endless Summer Sale, you'll enjoy up to $500 in air credits and up to 10,000 bonus miles on vacations to great Caribbean destinations, including St. Thomas. Visit deltavacations.com/endless2014 for details. Offer subject to change without notice. Other restrictions may apply.
No crying in sports. Complaining is acceptable.
97.1 The Ticket.
Welcome back to the show. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call all week long at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Hey, love those emails at mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. I'm Harvey Freed, Harry Glanz. We brought in the Higgins family, Sharice Higgins, who's a friend of mine and a real estate agent, and we do business together, and it's great to have you on, Sharice.
Thank you.
And, of course, Jeff Higgins, your husband, who's a home inspector, which everyone likes to get in the ear of a home inspector. And, again, as Harry mentioned, you show up to a home inspection, you're talking about a 3 to 4.5 hour inspection. Bigger houses, of course, more to check out, whether the unit has a crawl space or a basement, lots of different things. You might be checking out some outbuildings. And here in Michigan, because just look at our roads. So this is what's going on in your house, okay? The same thing.
Yeah, lesson number one, never waive your right to a home inspection. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree.
Yeah, cool.
All right, and we do have people that do that, and when we see they do that, they must have a ton of money set aside. And we're going to talk about FHA 203Ks because some houses are in such horrible shape, the only type of loan you can get is an FHA 203K. Let's try some calls this morning, start things off. We got Gary out there in Macomb County. Hey, Gary, welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Hello.
Morning.
How's it
Go
going?
ahead, Gary. Good. Morning, Gary.
Okay, I've had a couple appraisals done in the last couple of months, and the first appraisal of our house, a 2,200 square foot home, was $282,000. We didn't like the mortgage company they were originally going with, so we tried Bank of America, our first mortgage, and they came out and had it appraised at $230,000.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, why such a big discrepancy in appraisals?
Yeah, I love that question, and I think that it bears to point out that appraisals are, when you say you didn't like your mortgage company or the bank came out with a low appraisal and everything like that, understand this, that they hire licensed independent appraisers, and you're never going to get an exact amount from, if you hire 10 appraisers, they're all going to come in with different values. Because an appraiser is going to go ahead, and it's like a drawing to them. It's like a piece of art. It's so subjective, and it's in their eye. They have to, they have to take comparables, they have to take sales, but you're never going to get an exact same opinion on appraisal. And that's what an appraisal is. It's an opinion of value using what they should use are comparables that have sold within the last 6 months, and most recently take the best comparables to your house.
Did you do that, Gary?
So here's the deal.
Yes, I did. Can I stop you right there?
Yeah, and I just want to know what city in Macomb County.
We're Macomb.
Okay, Macomb Township. Okay, fine. So it's a hot area. So I think, and I don't know what your neighbors have sold their house for, but you have to take a look at most recent comparables.
I can tell you.
So go ahead.
I can tell you. And that's the issue I have. The guy that did it, I don't know who he is, but we pulled up recent sales, two of them, one of them on my street and the other in the same complex that I'm at. And one went for $305 and one went for $285. And they're comparable homes. One of them's even smaller than ours.
Okay, so here's what I can offer you. Garrett, let me offer you this. I'd like to see both appraisals. If you send them to me, I'll take a look at them personally, because this is what I do in our office. I take a look at values, and I rebut appraisals all day long. Now, that doesn't mean I'm successful all the time, because, again, appraisers don't want to hear that their work is shoddy. But the bottom line is, if you send me those two appraisals and the comparables, I'll take a look at it, and I'll give you my honest opinion on what I think the house is, what we can do with it. How's that sound?
Oh, that's fine, because the reason we were doing this is we saw an opportunity. It would save us like $300, $350 a month.
Right.
But now, because the second appraisal is coming in lower, we'd have to have PMI.
Yeah, let me take a look at it. What's your balance on your first mortgage right now?
$182,000.
So then why wouldn't the 280 appraisal work for you? Do you have a second?
280 would, but see, that's what I'm saying. We dropped that company, and we went with another company, not because the appraisal was bad, the work we were getting from them was bad.
Okay, I understand that. So now,
and the closing costs were bad.
okay, so send me the information. We'll call you after the show. We'll give you our email address. You'll send it to me directly with the comps. I'll take a look at it. Hopefully we can save you some money.
Gary, thanks for the call this morning. We'll get you set up the right way. It sounds like you struck out twice there, but again, 3 pitches. We're going to dive in here and take a look at it for you.
Yeah.
The key is, again, what can we find out about reviewing a couple appraisals? We can take a look at the most recent sales, use our professional opinions. Folks, there's a lot of bad people still out in our marketplace. And again, sometimes it's not even bad people. In this case here, it could be an appraiser's not even from the area. I don't know.
Exactly, not educated. There's a lot of appraisals who aren't educated for the area. They're coming from out of state. They have different mortgage companies. They don't know the area, and they're just kind of guesstimating without actually pulling.
Sometimes it's really just bad luck if you get a bad appraiser out there. It doesn't do the work. And again, in this case, there's different things you can do on a refinance transaction. Of course, you can do a lot of the footwork yourself. So you know who's coming to your house. He said he didn't know the appraiser. Well, they call you up, they give you their name and who they are and their credentials, and you let them in your house.
Absolutely.
So you know who you're dealing with here. As a real estate agent, Sharice, I know you'll even meet the appraisers right there at the house with all the listings. Here's it is.
Absolutely. There's a lot of times if it's maybe iffy, if we're thinking maybe it's at the high end of the market, we'll run our own comparables, leave them there on the counter for the appraiser when he comes in. Will he use them? Sometimes. But at least they're there. At least we've done our job to try, saying this is what the house is.
But if you're prepared, don't you really have to do that? I mean, isn't that something
Absolutely.
that you really have to do?
You want your client to know that you are selling their house at the right price.
I agree with that.
248-539-9797. We got open lines. We want to hear from you this morning. Of course, when you're buying a house, you're getting a house. Of course, you're out there looking at a house. You're also buying a mortgage.
Right.
So there's two really huge transactions going on, and that's why it's so key that you have the right people involved, sort of marry all that together.
So here's test question number 2 for Sharice, and I'm giving I gave her proper notification. I was giving her a quiz question. So you have a buyer, and the buyer, sometimes buyers can only qualify with a certain percentage down. So we'll put them in an FHA loan, which not like in the old days. FHA loans are, the minimum balance is in the $290,000 range, or $270 now, right, Harvey? What is it?
$271,050.
Thank you. $271,050 dropped from in the $290 range last year. And we put people in there because FHA has expanded guidelines. Okay, you can have less down, you can have, a higher debt ratio, whatever it is, but you still have to have good credit. You can have bad credit. There are no more bad credit loans out there. And so sometimes we'll see a purchase agreement come back and they'll say conventional financing only. And I'll say, nah, don't worry about it. We're going to put you FHA because we can get you qualified. You'll get in. It's not a problem. So sometimes I'll get that call from the realtor and they'll say, we can't go FHA. And then my response is, we write the check. Okay, Capital Mortgage Funding, we write the check. We're writing the check. What do you care for where the money comes from? What we do with the loan is what we do with the loan. Right. So why do we get resistance? Well, FHA, there's no way. I want conventional only.
Well, I always push FHA, so I'm not one to say you can't do it. Every house out there, I feel you can do FHA. If you can't do FHA, do FHA 203K. There's always a choice out there. FHA is less down. A lot of times you can do seller concessions. We've done many deals with Harvey before where it's zero out of pocket sometimes with these buyers.
Yeah, you can work out a lot of magic
absolutely.
with an FHA. Of course, if you have the money to go conventional, you can avoid the MIP, the expensive costs involved in an FHA purchase.
So now she's gone 2 for 2 because she answered that question right. We're not giving her the answers. It comes down to information, everybody. It comes down to if you don't know what the programs are and what the advantages of each program are, then all they're like, nope, I don't want to go FHA. I want to go conventional. Well, guess what? There isn't any difference in the money and where the money comes from because we write the check.
Absolutely. And a lot of times, too, is you want to have an active agent. You want to have an active home inspector. You want to have an active mortgage company. There is some people out there who hold their real estate license or say they're inspectors or say, hey, I can give you a mortgage, but do they do it on an everyday basis? Are they out there every day doing this and knowing exactly what they're doing?
Harvey, where have you been hiding her?
Yeah, 248-539-9797. Well, of course, we brought her husband in, Jeff, and Jeff, home inspections, about recent statistics show that about only 10% of the folks out there aren't doing these home inspections. So I'm hoping that 10% sort of falls within people that have already been renting their homes and now they're buying them from the landlord. Of course, you've been renting a house for a while. This came up recently, and the lady said to me, we always say, of course you should do a home inspection. Let's find out everything about the house. And of course, I always bring up more and more, it's become popular here because a majority of these homes, especially in the Southeast Michigan, are built in the 60s, 50s, even in the 70s. So we've got a lot of tree roots starting to get into the sewer lines. And we've also been telling people, hey, take a look at it. It's a minimum cost to have a camera put down that sewer line. I know it saves. Inspection. Yeah, and it's saving clients so much money. And again, it's not even about the saving the money because, look, if you're a seller, you're a buyer. You're selling your house, you're buying a new one. But it's about the fact that you can go to the seller and say, look, I love your house. I'm willing to make the transaction happen, but we've got a big issue here. Sewer line's gone. It's a $5,000 repair. You can negotiate it up front versus moving into a house and, of course, being hammered with an expensive cost. All right, well, continue the calls here. We've got, if I can bring this one up here, we've got Jason out there in Birmingham. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Harvey. How are you, sir?
Very good, Jason. Go ahead.
So I just want to be clear on what I just heard, because I understand that the guy said, we're bringing the money. What does the seller care? Is an FHA loan as easy to get done as a conventional loan?
Yes,
absolutely.
Extra inspections that
Yeah.
happen?
Yep.
Yeah, maybe even easier. Maybe even easier because the criteria for the client isn't as stringent. So clients can have a little bit higher back-end ratio. Clients don't need to be on the job for 2 years. Yeah, actually, believe it or not, that's a great question too, Jay, because, yes, it's just as easy. And, again, we're a local mortgage lender, so we handle everything here in the city, within the county.
So, Jason, what's your concern? What button did I push that made you call?
Well, it sounded, when you said I say to the realtor, well, what do you care where the money comes from? Well, isn't it the realtor's responsibility to understand where the money is coming from and make sure that it's an advantageous transaction for the seller?
How about this? Yeah, that's correct, and that's why Charisse cleared it up and said there really isn't a difference. Now, we're going to a break. If you can hang on, I'm going to explain the number one reason why in the old days realtors didn't want to go FHA.
All right, when we come back, we're up against the break. When we come back, 248-539-9797. All your calls.
Sometimes words aren't enough. Some things need to be experienced. The all-new Chrysler 200 is one of those things. This summer, 97 won the ticket, and Chrysler have teamed up to give you the ultimate blind date test drive experience. Come to any of our test drive events throughout the summer. Go to cbsdetroit.com/blind date to find a dealer event. Simply test drive the new Chrysler 200 and you'll get a blind date experience you'll never forget. A private concert, VIP treatment at a sporting event, and more. Experience the 2015 Chrysler 200. Redesigned from the factory floor up with best-in-class available 295 horsepower, standard 9-speed transmission, available 8.4-inch touchscreen, and up to 36 miles per gallon highway. It's the American sedan people didn't think was possible. The 2015 Chrysler 200 is America's import. Go to cbsdetroit.com/blind date to find the next Chrysler 200 blind date test drive experience. Program runs through September 30th, 2014 or while supplies last. For terms and eligibility, visit cbsdetroit.com/blind date.
My name's Chris. I'm 9 years old. I live with my mom and dad, who are really happy together. Fight all the time. My dad works at a good job. Got fired for being at the casino when he should have been working. Yesterday, I heard my mom say that she's saving up for a new car. A divorce. Right now, I'm in the 4th grade, but after high school, I'm going to go to college. I might go to college if I can get a scholarship, but Mom says all my college money is gone.
When you have a gambling problem, you rewrite your family's story with every bet you make. Call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117 for free confidential help, or visit our website at gambleresponsibly.org. Get help now while there's still time for a happy ending.
I saw my dad a month ago. This morning before I went to school. He's the best dad in the world.
A message from the Michigan Department of Community Health.
Sign up to become an O'Reilly O Rewards member today, and you could start earning instantly. O Rewards members earn $5 back for every $150 they spend. So if you haven't become a member yet, what are you waiting for? It's fast, easy, and free. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store, sign up, and start earning $5 for every $150 in purchases. Plus, O Rewards puts you on the road to exclusive offers and benefits geared just for you. Don't miss the chance to earn $5 back for every $150 you spend. Hurry into O'Reilly Auto Parts today. Sign up and start earning each and every time you shop. Become an O Rewards member today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. Better parts, better prices every day. See store for details.
Right now is the best time in years to list your home for sale. Hi, I'm Realtor Jeff Glover. The number of buyers in the market have increased dramatically, and they're out looking for homes right now. Plus, with available inventory near historic lows, your home will have less competition on the market. In other words, demand for homes is up while the supply of homes is very low, putting more money in your pocket. Homeowners who sell their homes with us get over 98% of their asking price and sell their homes in an average of 23 days.
Hi, my name's Brian Berryman. I'm from Bloomfield Hills. Heard Jeff's ads on the radio. I was having a hard time selling my house in Royal Oak, so I gave him a call. He took a complicated process, made it extremely easy, paid attention to detail, said I'd have my house sold in 3 weeks. 3 weeks later, house is sold. I'd recommend working with him to anybody.
Call Jeff Glover right now at 855-JEFF-SELLS. Whether your home is in Novi, Shelby Township, Brighton, Birmingham, Clarkston, or Ann Arbor, Jeff will get it sold. Call Jeff toll-free at 855-JEFF-SELLS or online at jeffgloversells.com. Realtor Jeff Glover, a household name. Jeff Glover is affiliated with Keller Williams Realty.
Refinance your home equity loan with Flagstar for a great rate. Visit flagstar.com to learn more. Flagstar Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The hockey team that Detroiters love most. The Detroit Red Wings live here.
Welcome back to the show. We broadcast again until 10 o'clock. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call all week at the office at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage bank, or else you call here live in the studio, 248-539-9797.
Okay, so just to reiterate on that previous caller, Jason from Birmingham, he had a question. I kind of hit a hop up with him. So he said the guy said that there's no difference between FHA and conventional financing, or why would I say that? Back in the day, there was a stigma attached to FHA financing, all right? So I think it kind of still lingers on, and it shouldn't. But the number one reason why that we hear, well, people don't want, realtors or sellers don't want to sell their house FHA and have FHA financing because they perceive that the appraisal and the inspection for that, when the appraiser comes in, they're going to cite too many things that could hold up the transaction. Okay? Chipping paint, safety issues like handrails and door guards and things of that nature. And it doesn't hold it up. All right? If I'm a realtor and I'm going through a house and I see chipping paint, well, get it scraped and repainted. Absolutely. All right. If I see that there's a door handles off or no railing going downstairs to the basement, why would you ever want to present a safety hazard? All right, and have some people fall down the stairs without a handrail. All right, so those are minor things, but back in the day, that would cause a transaction to be to go ahead and take another month or two. It doesn't happen right now. So, Sharice, do you want to elaborate on that?
Well, absolutely. Back in the day, it was hard to get an FHA.
Right.
A lot of things were flagged. A lot of times the transaction did not go through, didn't close. It might be on, 30, 45 days, 60 days, and all of a sudden we're not closing the transaction because either the buyer didn't want to put the money forth to fix it or the seller just refused to do it. So in those cases, you had to go conventional and you had to put more money down. But nowadays, there's so many different options out there, and especially if you have the inspector saying this, and this, it's going to get flagged. You have the opportunity to fix it prior to.
And there's no stigma to it. There's not. I mean, let's face it. When you get a $271,000 mortgage, all right, that's a pretty good sized mortgage.
Absolutely.
Well, recently, of course, then Fannie Mae adopted some of the FHA things. They do require now a handrail if there's more than 3 steps. So there are these little nuances and things that change to make it easier for everyone out there.
But they're not things that would ever hold up a transaction.
Absolutely not. I like the fact that actually you talk about like small things like peeling paint stuff. Like if you're a great listing agent, you go to the house and you're honest. And it starts there by saying, look, if you want to get top dollar, you need to fix these things because if these are broken and these are not well kept, you're basically saying this is not a well kept home.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of times when I list a house, we offer them to do a seller inspection versus a buyer inspection. In that case, if the person's lived there for 40 years, they don't know. They may have maintained the house, but they don't know everything that's wrong with it or what's going to get flagged. So we'll offer them. Do a seller inspection. They'll do it. They're happy with it. Then when you have a buyer that comes in, you can tell their agent, we have this inspection. You provide it to them. If they want to do another one, that's great. Right. Otherwise,
You never know.
Yeah.
248-539-9797. Come and join our discussion all about mortgages and real estate, buying a house. If you want to talk about home inspections and things that have popped up in your situation, we want to hear from you again. 248-539-9797. Recently, I was real excited. I had my youngest buyer actually close yesterday, a 19-year-old and her 22-year-old husband. I'm so proud. No names, of course, but unbelievable. They're so excited about it, and they don't even know how much savings they're going to have even in the future. Sure, rent was $1,000, and I think their house payment's like $8 something. But the tax advantages, they're going to be living in a community. What a great way to start off. I think I wrote it down here. They got into the house. Total investment was well under $5,000. This house is absolutely mint. A combination of seller's concessions, some of their own savings, and what else did they get? They got some gift funds from a family member. This is so easy to purchase a house. And we got to get more and more young people and renters out there excited about all the good things about home ownership. You know, your family's going to live there. And I'll tell you, there's already statistics out there that say children do a lot better in school when they live in a home. They're not transient. So there's a lot of great advantages. We'll talk about more. But let's try Brendan out there. Brendan in Royal Oak. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for taking the call. I recently purchased a new home in Troy. My old primary residence in Royal Oak I've turned into a rental. I have renters in there now, but that loan, the Royal Oak rental, is an option arm. I've had it for 7 years. My question is, should I do something with that loan? And if so, what is it?
Well, yeah, you should do something with it. The reason we should have done something with it when it was your primary residence, it's a little bit more expensive now that it's an investment property of yours. But if you have the equity in the house, is there equity? I'm guessing in Royal Oak you might have some equity now?
Yeah, there's probably, I'm probably right around 80% LTV.
Oh, well, then you're in great shape.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Have you been paying more on the principal on that option arm, or have you just been paying the minimum payment?
No, I actually don't have the option to make the minimum or the interest-only payment. So I actually am paying more than.
Well, that's good news.
The 30-year payment, I'm actually paying more than the 30-year payment. So,
yeah, and has it been advantageous?
After 5 years, that thing re-amortized to a 25-year loan.
Exactly. So it's probably been pretty advantageous for you up until, and now that you've rented out, you want to take a look at getting off that what I call the adjustable rate merry-go-round.
Correct.
Yeah, so I think the thing that we want to see, I want to take a look at the balance, and I want to take a look at what I want to take a look at the document that you get every month from that mortgage company, and then I think we could save you some money. But right now, it's been advantageous for you, but sooner or later, you're going to get off that as rates start to go up, and that's why you're making the
right.
call.
And that's So
certainly.
And with it being an a rental property now, I didn't know if that limited my options as far as what I could do. I understand the rates are generally higher on rental property.
Actually not, but the costs are. So you can sort of offset that. But yeah, the cost can just be a little bit more. If you think you're going to hold on to the property,
there you go, Harv.
It might make more sense to just take the lowest possible interest rate we can give you.
Yeah, it all depends on how long you think you're going to have that property for, so we can work out the best program for you to be successful.
Okay. Be great.
Thanks for the call, Brandon. We'll follow up with you after the show. We appreciate all calls, 248-539-9797, or call Capital Mortgage all day long. Same questions we'll answer for you right at the office at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Yeah, you know what? Two things that wake me up in the morning, Harvey, okay? Other than the TV, because I keep it on all night. But when we put a first-time home buyer, a young couple, or somebody into a house, a first-time buyer in there, it's an exciting part of their life. It's the next step. And that really gets us going in the office, and we really talk about it. We really like doing it, and it really keeps us going. That's number one. And number two is the call that we just had, saving people money. So putting people in the houses that have never experienced that and saving people money, that really keeps us going every day. And there's nothing like it when you said, Harvey, this past week that you put that young couple in that house. That's a very self-fulfilling thing. It's not only for them, but everybody out there, we get a kick out of it too. It's something we love to do.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking like 30, 40 days out of your life to put a mortgage transaction together. Find out how you can get qualified simply by calling the show, 248-539-9797. How about a whole new group of people out there too that need some help? The folks that, and Alex Nafusi, who's not here this morning with us, he's got a thorn about this, but, people have had some trouble. Some good people have had some bad things happen to them. They've lost their homes. They've had foreclosure, bankruptcies, illness in their family, job loss. Lots of reasons why a lot of people had to start over. But these families also can get back in the game. And we have one closing on Tuesday, Charisse, which is pretty cool. It's so great and rewarding. Again, can people get back in the game? And the answer is yes, they can. They need to find out how to do it, how much money it takes to do it. Usually it's not a whole lot. It's just usually a timing situation. You got to wait a few years.
Right. It's usually timing, and a lot of times when somebody forecloses or they short sale, their first question to me is, when can I get another house? Well, you can't get one right away. You have to wait a little bit. So basically, I'll put them in contact with you or say, contact your bank and find out what they say. I'm not a professional in the mortgage business. I just, point them in the right direction. In most cases, usually it's, 3 years, 3-4 years, they can get back into the game. And at that point in time, you can lease, a lot of great lease rates out right now, but as long as you're moving forward towards getting that mortgage again, rebuilding your credit, we've helped many people get back into a house.
Right. If home ownership wasn't so great, which we know it is, and there's 1,000,001 reasons why it is. And again, there's going to be some families out there that say, it's better to rent. Well, yeah, if you're not going to stay put in one spot, then maybe you're not a homeowner. But again, the fact that homes can appreciate, build strong communities. Look, everyone's getting back in the game, so it must be great. It
Prices
must
are great
be great
right now, too. Prices are fantastic.
They really are.
They've gone up a little bit where people aren't upside down their homes anymore. So if it's the time to sell. Let's do it now, because you can still sell it, get a nice little profit off it. You can still buy at a low rate.
But don't we want prices to go up?
Absolutely.
I mean, we want that. We want that appreciation in our neighborhoods, in our houses. And you talk about, you talk about the credit situation. Anybody who's had we'll call it a rough patch. That's one of Alex's favorite sayings. So paying homage to Alex is, if somebody's gone through a rough patch, it's not overnight where the situation is going to be fixed. It's going to take time. And I had a very good friend of mine call me today, and he said, Harry, the best advice you ever gave me is that I can repair my credit myself by just making my payments on time.
Yeah, that's good advice for sure. 248-539-9797. Maybe some more simple answers to some really complex questions right when we come back.
Grab your Sprint cell phone or other mobile device and enter now for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Michigan International Speedway in the Pure Michigan 400 Sunday, August 17th. Just text MISWXYT to 69050. Standard text messaging rates may apply. Winners will be chosen at random.
If you're a Daily 4 player, the Michigan Lottery has a little message for you. Straight Back Bonus is back.
Oh, yes, it's back. Hey, it's back. Oh, yes, it's back. It's really back. So take a clap to win some dough from front to back.
Or back to front.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Back it up a bit.
What?
What's the Straight Back Bonus?
Oh, well, in case you haven't heard, the Straight Back Bonus is a fun way to reward all our Daily 4 players. You just play your usual midday or evening numbers, right?
Got it.
And if you match your straight bet in reverse, you win a bonus.
A bonus? How much?
$1,000.
$1,000? Whoa!
And you can still win $5,000 if your numbers match in exact order.
So, a chance to win $5,000 and the chance to win $1,000 bonus?
You got it.
Now you're singing my song.
Then bring it home.
Oh, yes, it's back.
It's really back.
It's really back.
Oh, yes, it's back. To be exact, I'm taking it back, and that's a fact.
Oh, yes, it's back.
Double your chance to win some cash with the Daily 4 Straight Back Bonus. Now through July 31st. Only from the Michigan Lottery.
Oh, yes, it's back.
Christmas in July is a lot like Christmas in December, except for the sweating.
It's Gordy, slightly clammy founder of ABC Warehouse.
I remember my first Christmas in July. I was so excited. I woke up at dawn, ran downstairs.
And then?
Nothing. No tree, no gifts.
Shocking.
That's why ABC Warehouse makes Christmas in July extra special with free gifts and great savings throughout the store. Save on appliances, electronics, big screen TVs.
He's making a list.
Flat screen TVs, mobile electronics, DVD players, digital camcorders.
And he's checking it twice.
Actually, I check it 3 times.
You've got to admit, when it comes to saving, he's very thorough.
Hey, Christmas only comes twice a year.
Somebody get this man a calendar.
Now through Saturday, save up to 65% store-wide. Get an LED 1080p 40-inch HDTV for just $244 or less during the Christmas in July sale. Only at ABC Warehouse, the closest thing to wholesale.
Now is the time to try America's newest network. Why? Because at Sprint, when we say America's newest network, we mean a brand new network. We started from the ground up and built an all-new network that now delivers faster speeds and better call quality. And with the Sprint Unlimited family plan, you can get unlimited data, talk, and text for as low as $45 a month per line while on the Sprint network. And the best part is, you can try it for 30 days. Satisfaction guaranteed. If you're not happy, you get your money back. So what are you waiting for? With a new network and a satisfaction guarantee, there's never been a better time to switch. Visit a Sprint store or sprint.com/network to learn more. Happy connecting from Sprint.
Offering coverage not available everywhere or for discounted phones. Excludes taxes, surcharges, subject to $36 activation fee, credit and deposit per line. Plan discount $5 to $30 depending on number and group, plus $20 unlimited data buy-up. New lines only. Excludes usage not included in plan, premium content, third-party billing, and international charges. Comparison to prior Sprint network, prohibited network use rules, prioritization, rate limiting, and restrictions apply. See Sprint.com for details.
When most people think about student loans, they probably don't think of Discover, a company best known for credit cards. But maybe they should, because Discover offers more than credit cards. And Discover student loans are more than just loans, because they have no fees and can help cover up to 100% of college costs certified by your school. On top of all that, if a student gets a 3.0 or better, we'll give them a cash reward for each new student loan. It's what we like to call a little motivation. It's just another way we treat you like you'd treat you. Learn more at discoverstudentloans.com. Limitations apply.
If you're 40 or so and can't read the menu or see the numbers on your phone and misplacing those reading glasses is driving you crazy, please listen. I'm Eli Zaret, and Dr. Yaldo solved my reading issues for life. He is the first in Michigan to perform the newest, most advanced LASIK procedure that frees you to even read the fine print like you did as a kid. Call the Aldo Eye Center at 1-800-398-EYES and toss all those annoying readers in the trash. That's 1-800-398-EYES.
The Detroit Tigers at 97.1 The Ticket are teaming up with the Carmanis Cancer Institute for the 3rd annual Pink Out the Park. Meet us at Comerica Park Friday, September 12th when the Tigers face the Indians at 7:08 p.m. Ticket packages include a game ticket, official Pink Out the Park t-shirt, and a donation to support breast cancer research at Carmanis. Great fun for a great cause. For ticket information, visit 971theticket.com.
Winners and losers are welcome here.
Welcome back to the show. We broadcast till 10 o'clock. It's a Hardcore Mortgage Show, again, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. We're in our 14th season bringing you the show, and appreciate all the callers who have called in. If we got some open lines, 248-539-9797. Of course, all day long, all weekend long at Capital Mortgage, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. I mean, the key is get that approval letter in hand, learn the process. We got so much to share with you, and let's go off to Tariff out here in Grosse Pointe Park. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Real good.
Morning. How are you?
Good.
Awesome.
I'm an avid 97.1 The Ticket listener, and I'm in the process of it was great to this morning.
Oh, did I lose you?
Can we hear you on their phone?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, try to go in another room. Don't move too much. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I was saying I'm an avid 97.1 The Ticket listener, and I'm actually in the process of buying a home, and it was great that you guys are doing this morning.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're in our 14th season of bringing it. It's only 1 hour of nothing but, no sports at all, just for 1 hour. But we got Pat Caputo coming up next. So if you're out there looking for sports and Tiger baseball all afternoon. But Tariff, let me ask you a question. Did you already get your approval letter? Did you already find a house? Where are you at with the process?
Yes, I got my approval letter back in June, and it's a short sale. It's a beautiful home. We rent in Grosse Pointe Park currently. The house is worth $125,000. We've already we're in the process.
Right.
So,
it can take a while, that's for sure, on the short sales.
Yeah, absolutely. I had no idea. Short sale, I'm thinking short. It's actually longer than a regular.
Right, they should call them long sales, right. Short on the bank getting what they owe. Go ahead, what do you got?
Such a good line.
So my question to you is, we're getting pretty close. The appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
How close should you pay for the appraisal to the closing? Because we still don't have the closing amount.
Well, was the short sale accepted? Again, that process of it. So it's already been accepted. So right now, and then the seller said they wanted to close on what date?
Well, the seller's end is still working with the bank.
Well,
but
that's
on our end, we're good.
Okay, well, there's the situation. The appraisals aren't good forever. 120 days typically on an appraisal. So I would be concerned. I would not order the appraisal until the offer is accepted by the bank. It could be 5, 6, 7 months down the road before something happens. So, again, short sales are extremely tricky still to this day. You would think things were worked out after it's been going on for the last 6 years. But they're just not there yet. And, again, do they have a second mortgage? Let me ask you that. Do they have 2 liens on the house or just one?
Just one, from what I understand on that side of it.
Sometimes not so bad. Good communication between your real estate agent and the listing agent is mandatory.
Exactly. And you can tell your agent, to contact the listing agent and try getting them to push it more. The more the listing agent pushes it and makes phone calls on a daily basis to that bank, they're going to want to get that house closed a lot quicker.
Yeah, so you keep leaning on the listing agent, and again, if you have an agent, you're going to want to stay on top of them. Also, do you have a situation where you're renting now? Is your lease going to be up anytime soon? How are you doing with that?
We're actually month to month now. We've been here for 5 years, so our the people who own the house already know our situation, so we're okay on that.
Very good, and they're flexible with you. Well, congratulations. Good luck, Tariff. Of course, you're going to need a mortgage once that offer is accepted. I'm going to jump in and give you a phone call to follow up with you. Maybe we can help you save money, and thank you for the call.
Well, it sounds like, he understands the process. He knows it's not going to be overnight, and that is an oxymoron, short sale. It's like jumbo shrimp, right?
Right.
Yeah, a short sale. It takes a long time. There are a lot of moving parts, as we like to say in a short sale. People have to agree to a lot of things, and you don't want to pay for that appraisal now because it might expire and he might have to pay for another one. So that would be another $700 to $900 out of his pocket.
Yeah, you don't want to waste money on it. Again, having more professionals, that's how you really set up the whole transactions. What's everyone's expectations on this? Short sales are still interesting because, again, the family that's living in the house who has the lien with the bank, the house is underwater. Right. They don't care. They accept the offer. It's will the bank accept the offer and sell the house short? Those families, the sellers, they already know they're in a bad predicament and that they're going to, like you said, sit out for at least 3 years. Absolutely. They can become homeowners again, but not right now. But they just really want to move on. They really want it behind them also.
Yeah, absolutely. In a lot of cases, it is the seller who just wants to be done with the transaction. They know they're upside down. They want to move on to the next step of their life. But again, it's the listing agent being active and pushing that bank to close quick.
Of course, if you're interested in an RD loan, they're becoming more and more popular as more families find out about rural development loans in northern Oakland County, across northern Macomb County, and all our surrounding communities, Lenawee, Livingston, Washtenaw County. You can get a rural development loan. Find out all about it by calling us here on the show or call Capital Mortgage at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. And Sharice, I want to share that one story because it was interesting. You had a lady that recently just had a great listing, and I know you have an awesome house in Livonia.
Yes.
Sort of an interesting story. She just bought the house recently.
Yep, she bought the house in 2011. Older woman, just fantastic person, and she basically stripped the whole house down to the studs, rebuilt the whole thing from inside. New kitchen, new bathrooms, 2,100 square foot house, beautiful in Livonia. It's a ranch, which is really desirable in the Livonia area, right by Laurel Park Place. We just reduced the price, $299,000, but basically she stuck on the market because there was a death in the family. She has to move to Alabama. She needs to get out of the state, so we're just trying to, get her moved on her way. But it's a fantastic house.
Right. And there's many houses and different opportunities out there. And it was just interesting because here's one great story. someone who totally decked out the house just a few years ago. Everything in that neighborhood, and you show me some of the information on everything in the neighborhood selling for $290,000, $300,000, and they haven't been refurbished. This house is brand spanking new from basically the bottom up.
Yeah, she put like $70,000 into it in 2011, 2012. Just basically that was her retirement. She was going to live there forever, and it just situations happen, and she has to sell it. But it's a fantastic house out there.
Yeah, lots of these opportunities. Be sure to call Capital Mortgage. Get in touch with me. I'll get you in touch with Sharice. Just call 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker, and definitely get you all the professional people. Let's try Carrie out there if this works. I don't even know. Carrie, you live on the ticket. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, go ahead, Carrie, with your question.
Hello? Care?
Oh, we're going to let that go.
Carrie.
All right. So we're going to let it go. We don't have much time. Let's see if we can sneak in Russ out there in Clinton Township. We'll see if this works. Oh, Russ, you there? Yeah, I'm not sure if these phones are working right here. We're gonna have the technical guys come in here in a second. Anyways, we might have lost them. So we'll continue our conversation. We do have some open lines. Only a couple minutes left of the show. 248-539-9797. Wanted to point out all the different loans that are out there because we talk about these first-time home buyers. We talk about families trying to get in for a little down. VA loans are still popular. 0 down on the VA loans. Consolidating debt, FHA mortgages, where families have bought in the last couple of years and don't want to pay that expensive MIP anymore. So many families, Sharice, even a lot of our clients that purchased 3 or 4 years ago in our area, in our farm area, they have opportunities now with the new appreciation in the Lake Orion area all the way through. You take that whole any of the lakes going west. The Elizabeth Lake area, the Cass Lake, anything out in Waterford, Clarkston, Highland, those areas, folks, have been appreciating. We talk so much here about the Woodward Corridor with Birmingham all the way through Ferndale. Things are gangbusters in Southeast Michigan.
Well, and Macomb County, Harvey. Right now, Macomb County is so solid for new construction. We're seeing more activity in new construction in Macomb County than in the Tri-County area. All right, so new construction's coming back. Macomb County, the values have increased dramatically. And it's just a really exciting time right now.
You know the market's good when they're building again.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Again, regionally, there's been a lot of information. I had some articles. I'll thank Tim Moore from my office for putting a few articles together. It's fun. Interesting articles about new construction. You know, it's down, then they say the permits are down. It's regionally. Here in Southeast Michigan, if you're a builder, you're digging basements now. The homes are selling quickly. We see subdivisions going very quickly. And again, a lot of these projects were stagnant for a number of years, over the last 6-7 years. And now it's really nice to see that more people are back to work, and it's really happening on new construction side. Some other information I'll share with you real quickly is like, people getting these mortgages online, you got to be very careful. I mean, we think it's a great place to start to get some general information. You read about products. You can find out some range of interest rates, but it's really not how it all works. According to a recent survey by PricewaterhouseCoopers, they say 2 out of 5 of those people getting them online, not so happy. So be sure to call Capital Mortgage at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Thanks, Sharice and Jeff. What a great show.
It was nice.
I hope you had fun.
Yeah, that was Sharice Higgins from Keller Williams out at Union Lake. And again, give us a call at Capital Mortgage all week long. We'll hook you up. And Jeff, want to thank you, the Mr. Home Inspector himself.
I want to thank you for letting me be here.
Fair enough. We got Pat Caputo coming up next. Sports, social commentary all day long. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket.
Preceding was a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
It's the ABC Warehouse More for Your Money GE sale event with factory direct discounts and 2 years no interest on GE's most innovative appliances, like a refrigerator that dispenses cold and hot water, making food and drink preparation easy, and hands-free autofill. Walk away while filling any container without fear of overflowing. Buy now and get instant cash rebates. Everyday routines become amazingly simple with these next-generation appliances, like a dishwasher with dedicated bottle wash jets that direct water deep inside sport bottles and baby bottles for a thorough clean. All available now at special